We're here at White Oak Estate and Gardens, Chef John Folse's estate, where chefs from around the world come to celebrate the hog. From hogshead cheese to boudin, cracklins, backbone stew, sausage, and even raccoon and rooster stew, a John Folse Boucherie is a hog extravaganza.
I think just the success of the desire to do it. We want to do it. We have a reason to do it. We're proud of our tradition. We want the world to know it. So the more people we can teach in our own community, and they're here. Not only is it going to grow, but I think it's needed in Louisiana for the professionals as well as those who just want to come eat a good stew.
This event is so much more than a cook-off. Traditions and customs are shared from chefs around the world. It's a new experience for many, and it's an opportunity to educate.
It shows a lot of what our ancestors did, like learning the different parts of the pig, like the shoulder, the butt,
Now
the
you're
butt,
getting more
ham.
into the obscure.
Right.
Each chef adds their personality and culture, which makes for a unique combination of concoctions as well as time-honored recipes. Hartmut, Heinke, from
Yes.
Germany.
From Germany originally. Columbus, Ohio now.
Who came up with hogshead cheese? Where was the idea to put a
I
head
think,
in
I
there?
tell you one thing, the head cheese, what we do in Germany is different than what
Is
we do
it?
here.
Okay, how so?
Like for example, the broth what we use, we clarify it, you know. We dice the meat more less precisely a little bit, you know.
More like a pate?
Yeah, like a pate. And you don't have all meat in there.
Okay.
You know, you have some gelatin
Right.
juice in there too. So it's a little bit different than what we do here.
It was interesting to learn the differences in culture from Germany, how they do it, to the American way, which was very, very different.
You see, the reason, yes, you can put the head in,
Right.
but then the head falls apart.
Right, and you have to pick the
And
bones
then you
out.
have to take the bones out, you have to separate it from all that vegetable stuff. This vegetables we don't use anymore.
No, that's just for the flavor.
See?
All right, Chef Wingo, you are a Boucherie veteran.
Yes, so I have made a little name for myself of traveling anywhere they were doing anything with a pig. And when I got the opportunity to learn the whole process of killing, process, butcher, the whole thing, it just really intrigued me on, I wanted to do that. You hear some sizzle?
Some sizzle. What do we have? This is your sausage right here.
So this is the andouille, and it's stuffed in a cow casing, number 44 casing. And it's a traditional type of sausage, and for the andouille to be in that big casing.
Okay.
For me, it was to find out where your food comes from.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the whole process, and for people that want to eat better food, they should know where their food's coming from. But you have to realize that you're going to use that animal to bless people eating, and we're not going to waste a piece of that animal. I mean, from the snoot to the tutor is going to be used.
We found the man, David Hubble, faithful Bayou Wild follower. This is your 5th Boucherie.
That's right.
So how did a man from Alabama get all over here to Baton Rouge and get involved in this?
Well, my family's all from Louisiana, and when my daughters were born, I got more interested in learning about keeping up the food traditions and history traditions. I've always been interested in our genealogy. And so one of the greatest sources I ever came across was the John Folse Encyclopedia of Cajun and Creole Cuisine.
I'm no stranger to making sausage. How do you loop it? Help! But I'm certainly no expert. So what better way to learn about a Boucherie tradition than get my hands dirty and make some boudin?
We've got the pork meat and the liver that we're grinding up with this fine grind. And after we grind it all up, we're going to mix in some fresh green onions and some parsley. And then at that point, we can add whether we want to do rice or without rice, and also the blood that we showed earlier. This is the blood from the hog. When they cut the jugular, they collect it into this pan, and they'll salt it down with a can of salt, and then they'll constantly whisk it to prevent it from coagulating.
And I was less grossed out about the blood being involved in the cooking than I thought I would be, because originally when you see a finished bright red sausage, could be a little squeamish, but making the sausage with the blood, seeing how it was extracted, took the grossness out of it and made it a little more appetizing.
So in the old days when they did the French traditions of making boudin, a lot of times the rich people were the only ones who had salt. And blood, what that does for you is it adds some salt and mineral flavors, so the people who weren't as rich could afford to add some seasoning and flavor to their meat. Plus you didn't want to waste anything.
That's right, teamwork make the mean work.
We also had Chef Ippolito Sanchez, who's a regular out there, who's from Chicago, and he let me get hands-on in tamale making.
So say it with me, Cochinita Pibil.
Cochinita Pibil.
Yep.
And whenever you see a tamale stand, you're gonna appreciate them a lot more after this.
We brought a lot of stuff that's really indigenous to Mexico and really sharing the heritage of corn. So corn's used in the South quite a bit, right? You have grits, you have hoe cakes, you have cornmeal, cornbread. You know, we celebrate corn. We celebrate corn just as everybody else does. So
Everything about the corn.
everything about the corn, including the husk, right? That looks good.
All right.
We're just gonna grab a little handful of meat. You're gonna grab some from your pan there. And that's a nice healthy amount there, so. Got excited for the tamale meat. All right. And you can open it to make sure it's closed, like that. Yep, and then what you do is just fold that and roll it over. You want to just pinch the end off. You just want to fold that over the seam there. And then you've got your tamale.
And you leave the top part open?
Leave the top part open, yep.
All right.
You're gonna put that in the steamer about an hour and a half.
This tamale gets a bonus. This is more like 2, I guess.
Yeah, right? That's the lux. That's the Bayou Wild special right there. So we might raffle that off.
While the event is just one day out of the year, the bonds created from the chefs create a brotherhood. Each chef leaves this event with valuable knowledge to bring back to their restaurants, businesses, and families.
Next time I make the white boudin and the red boudin.
Yes.
I never did this.
But it's been great because you see a mix, especially with John's Boucheries. He's got people from up north, from all over, and he always talks about the 7 nations, so he also tries to incorporate the different nationalities into the Boucherie.
I would say that everybody here from those 26 states would love nothing more than for us to load up every bit of this, which we have. Nobody else in the world has this. And the trailer to put it in and just take it and set it up just like a circus. The only difference is it's for real.
Continuing the culinary traditions passed down for centuries.